So you know all about helping your clients get healing, fix their relationships, deal with their old baggage and drama, but you got to figure out how to get more clients in the door or you're going to have to close your door. Let's talk about marketing 101 for therapists, coaches, and counselors. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, my name is Carolyn and I am a coach who works with therapists, coaches, and counselors to help them have a high quality of life while serving their clients well. And this video is all about how to get more clients in the door without you having to spend all of your time online chasing referrals. Now, I don't know about you, but when I got my master's degree in counseling, there was nobody talking about how to build a business. Everybody was talking about psychoanalytic theory and how to have an engaging session and all of these wonderful things, but nobody taught me how to actually get the clients in the door. So very often when you start out in business, it can feel like you're shouting into the wind, like you are, desperately looking for clients. As a therapist or a coach, your desire is to help people. You want to make sure that your clients feel their best, live their best lives. And so you might not naturally put yourself out to even be discovered. That's why it's not at all uncommon that people who are great at helping are not great at helping themselves. But in this video, I'm going to give you the sweet and simple way to start your marketing plan. And yes, you heard me say the word plan because you absolutely need a plan so that you're not wasting time and you are actually able to see results. I'm sure this comes as no surprise to you, but the first step in marketing is really not even about you. It's about your client. It's about getting to know your client, getting to know their actions, their attitudes, their behaviors, their desires, their pain points, all of those things. And you've probably heard that before, but here's this other piece that you might not have heard. You want to pay attention to your ideal client's online behavior. In this video, most of the strategies that I'm going to tell you about are going to be online. I will include some things that are a little bit more brick and mortar that I have done in the past, but I'm going to give you strategies that are online because I don't want you spending all of your time running door to door, which has not been the most effective strategy right now. I'm sure it comes as no surprise that your first step in creating a marketing plan is getting crystal clear about the customers that you want to serve. As a therapist or a coach, however, this might be a little bit different than what you're used to because we tend to think about, hey, I want to help anybody who has anxiety. I want to help anybody who has a marriage that is in jeopardy. I want to help anybody who is struggling in their marriage. I want to help anyone who is, dealing with depression, right? So we kind of think in terms of diagnoses, but that is not necessarily the most specific way to actually target your customers. You want to think about things like their age, their stage of life, their desired outcomes, what they've tried in the past, what things do they really hate? What things do they really love? Those are the things that you want to get inside their brain. You not only want to know their demographics, like how old they are and how much money they make and where they live in town, but you also want to know their psychographics, like what TV shows they're watching or what characters they really love. Any details that you can get about your potential customers will help you connect with them on a deeper level. And as a rule, you also want to know where they are online. Are they on Facebook or are they on Instagram? I was talking to a therapist recently and she was saying that, she puts out this amazing content that she knows is like really informative and really educational, but she's been putting it out on Instagram. And I said, well, is that where your customers are hanging out? Or is it possible that maybe they're somewhere else? And she says, oh my gosh, now that I think of it, when I think of the clients I do have, most of them are on LinkedIn. That's their preferred platform or the platform that they actually spend time like looking for professionals that they want to hire. And I said, okay, well then that sounds like maybe repurposing some of that Instagram content over to LinkedIn might be better off for you. When you get to know where your clients are, what they're doing and what they're paying attention to, how they make their buying decisions, that is going to help save time and eliminate some of that busy work that just doesn't really get you the results that you want. And remember, you can serve multiple clients, but your goal whenever you're putting out a piece of content, whether that be on social media, on your blog, or through an email marketing campaign, is specifically to talk to one client. Now, this is a tip that I love to make sure that people have, because I think it is not how we are wired as professionals. We want to help everyone. And so we try to talk in general terms to all the people. But here's what I want you to know. When you are talking in your marketing messaging, if you are not talking to one person, you are talking to no one. What that means is if you say something that is so generalized that it could apply to anyone, it's not really likely to be so engaging that it connects with your perfect customer. So people will just kind of tune it out. We live in a really noisy time right now where there's lots of like sound bites and mic drop moments on social media. So what you really want to make sure that you're going for is, what does this customer, my perfect customer, need from me right now? What would they think or connect to about this controversial topic? How would they view this particular idea? So let me give you an example. I love working with therapists, and I have yet to meet a therapist who doesn't hate writing notes. So if I wanted to put out some piece of content that would at least get a connection or engagement for therapists, it would be about the dreaded note writing at the end of the session, because that is a topic that most therapists could connect to. Now, that's not to say that other industries don't have something similar that is annoying for them or similar that they hate doing. But if I'm specifically talking to clients, if I'm specifically talking to the clients that I want to connect with, which are therapists, if I share something about a pain point that is specific to them, that is something that's going to draw them in, that might go right over top of the head of somebody who's not a therapist. The next thing that I want you to do is work on your brand. And this is one that a lot of therapists really struggle with, because we come oftentimes from a framework of just meeting our clients where they are, connecting with them, talking about them, calling them into conversation with us. Because we spend so much of our time thinking about and empathizing with our clients, we don't always put our foot forward. If you go to many websites, it is not at all uncommon for me to go to a therapist's website and it's pictures of everything and everyone, and I have to search for a picture of them. But you have to brand yourself in order to be able to stand out in a noisy market. When you think about companies like BetterHelp or Grow Therapy or Talkspace, these companies have invested millions of dollars in being a recognizable brand. So the actual therapist that's providing the care, they're never actually shown, they're never actually seen, but the brand itself is very, very clear. So not that you have to focus on competing with them, but if you want to stand out, you want to make sure that people know who you are. It's really unlikely that you're going to ever be able to compete dollar for dollar with these big box tech companies that are backing these mental health apps. So what you do have on your side is the fact that you're an amazing person. You get amazing results. And so you've got to show up and let your face shine. One of the best ways that you can connect with clients is through video, just like this. So if you are afraid or too shy to get in front of the camera, people may not see you as the person that can solve their problems. Your branding includes your name or the practice name. Your branding includes your name or the practice name, your logo, your tagline, your mission, all of those things. But most importantly, your brand is what people say about you when you're not around. So what are some of the things that your clients would say about you after they've left a session? While you may not ethically want to run around collecting feedback from clients, what you do want to do is make sure when they tell you something or talk to you about the things that they enjoy about your sessions, make note of that, because that's something you want to highlight in the way that you market yourself. All of that is your brand, and you want to make sure that you are building and protecting your brand if you want to stand out online. There's something called your unique value proposition. And basically what that means is what you have that makes you the best person to solve their problem. We live in a really amazing time where there's tons and tons of options for our clients, right? And so when you are looking to stand out as the best person for your client, you need to do that by showing all of who you are. What makes you stand out is being your authentic self. What makes people connect with you is knowing enough about you that they can trust you. That's kind of counterintuitive to our standard approaches towards mental health and coaching. But the truth is, today, people want to know who you are before they sign on the bottom line to become one of your clients. What makes you the best person for them? That is your brand, and you want to make sure that you shout that loud and proud. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is focus on building out a sustainable online presence. And yes, that may start with the website, but it definitely does not stop there. One of the things people don't realize is that spending $3, $5, $10, $20,000 on a website does not guarantee you that anyone will ever see it. Driving traffic to your website is an important part of having an online presence. And there's more to that than just having a beautiful website. Listen, I have been in business for over 10 years. I've worked alongside therapists and counselors for over 14. And one of the things that I can definitely tell you is this has changed in the last 5 years. Thanks in part to some of those big box tech companies that are backing those mental health apps right now. The days where you could just spend money to have somebody search engine optimize your website are long gone. Everybody's website is search engine optimized. We've all got the same keywords on our website. So you're not going to be able to pay somebody to do that and just have your website suddenly jump to page 1. There's thousands of counseling and coaching websites out there. And getting to the front page, which is where you want to be, is harder than ever now, especially when people are spending money to sponsor their website to be on the front page. So yes, I want you to have a website that is well designed, clear, directly targeted towards your specific customer that you want to meet. I want you to have lots of keywords on there. I want you to have clear things on there about like scheduling, pricing, services that you offer. All of that is great, but do not think that that is the only step. You have got to drive traffic to your website. For most people, the way that you're going to drive traffic to your website is going to be through your social media channels. There are definitely plenty of social media platforms and new ones popping up all the time. So it can be really overwhelming and you want to jump in and do all of them. But let me tell you this, I would encourage you to pick one or two that really connect with your ideal customer, that you actually kind of enjoy using, and most importantly, that you can be consistent with. It is not about the quantity of content that you're putting out there. It is about the quality of content. So it doesn't matter that you have 17 different channels. If you're only posting once a month, it's not going to get seen. Don't try to force your potential clients to find you on a platform that they're not using already. Go where they are. Let's say, for example, that you wanted to attract 27-year-old teachers whose anxiety has been increasing in recent years. I would tell you, first and foremost, LinkedIn is probably not the way to go. They're probably not actively on LinkedIn, and when they are on LinkedIn, they're not scrolling to get information. So where are they? Probably on TikTok and probably on Pinterest, maybe even on Instagram. So you're going to focus there. So spend a little time on those platforms. Now, that doesn't mean that if you really enjoy LinkedIn, you can't use it, but just be mindful of the fact that your customers may not be there. So you're not going to be converting in the same way. Make sure that whatever social media platform that you choose, that you are sharing valuable content, meaning actionable content, things that encourage them to take action. You want to have a blend of stories and helpful tips and inspiration, plus things that are just kind of fun for engagement. Your content should be consistent, meaning that it's coming out on a regular basis and the branding is consistent, but it should not be so rigid that they know it's predictable and it's going to always be the same thing. Your website is a 24/7 storefront that people can look at any time of the day or night to find out whether or not they want to work with you. If you do it well, your social media is like a salesperson that is calling people in from the street to come to your shop. And that's how you want to think of it. When you put that piece of information out, is it specifically targeting your perfect customer? And is it encouraging them to take action? And when they get to your website, are they going to get a solution or a result that they're looking for? That is a process that will drive their traffic right in your door. Now, this strategy is one that oftentimes kind of gets overlooked, but you should have a space in your marketing plan for networking and collaboration. So let's start here. I know it might sound a little bit crazy to think of this as you are trying to get more clients, but there may come a day when you are full and you don't have room to take on any more clients. You want to connect with people who you trust that you can use as a referral source and vice versa. You also want to have people that are complementary to the services. Let's say that you are a marriage and family therapist and your entire practice is based upon providing care to couples in crisis. Chances are you're going to run into some couples where one or both partner could use a little bit of individual time on the couch. That's why you should have some individual counselors in your Rolodex that you can pass along to your clients, right? Well, maybe those therapists would refer you marriage and family counseling sessions as well. Let's say in your practice, you are focused on the treatment of anxiety and you recognize that a lot of your clients have benefited from yoga and meditation. Well, what about collaborating with a local yoga studio? Let's say that you're a coach and you help people develop their leadership skills. But as you're having conversations, you notice that some of your clients are really troubled by their tax bills or the fact that their finances are in disarray. You might have a collaboration or a partnership with an accountant or a CPA firm, because even though you're not in the same industry, you care about the same group of people. Networking can lead to so many collaborations and partnerships. And networking and building collaborations is one of the best techniques you can do for your business, because not only does it connect you with other professionals, it also allows you to maintain a position of authority. It also allows you to be seen as this amazing resource in your client's life. So they know you, they like you, they trust you. And at times, these affiliations can be mutually beneficial. Let's say that you're a business coach and you help people develop and you help entrepreneurs develop a strong mindset for their business. Here's a perfect idea of a collaboration. Let's say that you are an entrepreneurial coach and you want to help all of your clients develop their businesses in the best way possible. You have started networking and found an amazing CPA who is a tax strategist who helps entrepreneurs keep more of their money in their pocket and stop giving so much of it to Uncle Sam. Let's say you guys come together and you host an in-person event that's maybe 2 or 3 hours so that everyone can get their finances in control and work on their money mindset all at the same time. You charge $297 for the event, you split the profits, and now you actually increase your revenue, your impact, and your audience. I have guest blogged on various websites, I've co-hosted webinars, and I've spoken from other people's stages, all with the same benefit of creating connection and collaboration and sharing in the same audience. Now, the last thing that I want you to make sure you have in your marketing plan is a way to nurture your audience. We've talked about how to be clear about who your audience is. We've talked about how to make sure that they see you as a thought leader, someone who can show up, answer their questions, and solve their problems. We've talked about how you can create a presence that drives traffic to that amazing website that you created. But here's the truth of the matter. You may be able to do all of that, and people are still not quite ready to make their decision. In those instances, you need to know how you're nurturing clients so that they can continue to get to know, like, and trust you so they can become a customer, so that they can become a lifetime customer. My favorite way to do this is email marketing. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of those things as a business owner that has been really challenging for me. In general, if you're going to do email marketing or text marketing, which can have even a higher conversion rate, you're going to need to send something at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, so that you can show up in people's inbox. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, but being consistent with this was something that I really struggled with in the beginning. Sometimes I would sit down and write an email and I'm like, what am I even saying today? Everybody talked about growing your list, growing your list, growing your list, but nobody talked about what to do when you get people on your list. If you get them on your list and you don't have anything to share with them, your list is completely worthless. And so in the early years, I spent a lot of time gathering a list, but I didn't know what to do to nurture my audience while they were there. And so over time, I did amass quite a few people on that list, but the list was pretty much dead. It wasn't generating any income. People weren't necessarily converting at any type of a reasonable rate. And so I had this email list that I had to pay to house on my email marketing system, and it wasn't generating any income for me. But when I got consistent with email marketing, I saw my numbers climb. I started making money every single week in my business with low ticket offers. I started converting people into clients. It was a game changer for me, for sure. When it comes to email marketing, here's what you got to know. First of all, you've got to do something. You've got to give people something in exchange for them giving you their email address. It needs to be tasty. It needs to be something that they actually want, and it needs to have some value. The second thing that you have to do is you have to show up consistently. It is harder than ever to get from the promotion tab into the main inbox. And if you ghost people regularly, you will get relegated to the spam or the junk folder, and they'll never even see what you spent all that time creating. The final step to email marketing is just making sure that you're creating something that people actually want to see. So how are you showing up solving problems in their inbox? How are you presenting resources? How are you connecting with them and making them feel seen and heard? You don't want to spend all of your time in their inbox selling them things, because they'll learn that every time they open an email from you, you're going to be asking for more money. But you should have some calls to action in there, whether it's replying to tell you something that they need from you or what they'd like to see, or clicking a link towards a blog or a video that you've created. You want to start to see them take action, because that will tell you what they want more of. If your emails are engaging and entertaining and clear and have a call to action, you will get customers who are ready to open them, who are eager to open them. Now, if all this sounds like something you would love to do, but you're wondering about how to do it in the time that makes sense for you, I would really encourage you to do this. Look at your calendar right now and see where you want to add more clients. So let's say you want to be seeing clients on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. But right now you're only full on Thursday with a few spots on Monday and a few spots on Tuesday. I want you to look at every hour where you want to have a client and make that a marketing hour. I know that may sound a little harsh, like, Kevlin, you really want me marketing for 5 hours a week? I do. I really do. And the reason for that is, and there's a reason for that. When it comes, and there's actually a couple reasons for that. Psychologically, I want you to condition yourself to be doing your work during those hours. I want you to show the universe that you are ready to put forth your effort. Secondly, I want you to be consistent, and I want you to schedule your marketing the same way you do any other appointment. If you want to be writing a client's name on your books, I want you to get into the habit of using that time to attract that client. So what would I do during that time? I might host a webinar or go live on social media. I might spend some time on other creators, on other content creators' social media, making comments and connecting with their audience so that they can see me as a thought leader and an expert. I might be doing some direct marketing, and that could include going door to door, dropping off flyers and bowls of candy or donuts to the local doctor's office. It can also include batching or scheduling out those emails that you want to go out over the next couple of days, weeks, or even months. Now, we talked about all the pieces of a marketing plan, and now I have a gift for you. And yes, it does require you to put in your email address to get it. You'll see links to a few resources that can help you build the business of your dreams. And one of those resources is a marketing plan specifically for therapists, coaches, and counselors just like you. So do me a favor. I want you to take action. No more sitting around feeling overwhelmed. Download that guide and get started marketing your practice today.